Over the years, NECA has released 3 street scenes: Toon, Movie Turtles, and just a generic one, which is easy to buy these days, even for just 115 bucks. These things have been around for years, and there's not a lot of customization that has come from these things directly from NECA. So today, we're gonna dig deep into 4 customizers that have made products specifically to enhance the NECA street scene. So here's a pretty good look at what the NECA street scene looks like right out of the box. Well, after you build it, of course. You get 6 windows, you get this shutter door, and then you get a generic wall to fill in case you don't want to have all the windows out. My least favorite thing about this whole setup is really just the door. And over the last year or so, I've been focusing a lot on this street scene, making different windows and doors. And my newest one is actually this Eastman's toy store. Now, I have a bunch of different designs. I've actually forgotten how many I have, but you can get all of those available through my Ko-fi store. And just a heads up, all of these products are going to be linked down in the description below, and I should be pinning the comment as well. So to start things off, we're going to, of course, look at my own products. I mean, that would be silly not to show off what I've been working on. This is the newest thing. This is the Eastman's Toy Store, and it comes with 7 windows and 1 door cover. The windows come with these gradient blues, so it just looks like a daytime window, and then I have various sizes of the blinds. You just need a little bit of tacky stuff to get the door to stick to these rolling shutters, and then they just cover it up perfectly. So if you remove the panels, you can keep the plastic in the window and just take these new designs and stick them in behind it. That's that easy. They just lock in around the tabs, and you're good to go. And as you can see, this transforms this thing instantly. Even if you leave the shutter door there, the windows alone really needed some kind of enhancement like this. This whole scene can be transformed just with simple cardstock. Now, these things are printed on 80-pound cardstock, so it's actually, you know, it's not thin like paper, but thick enough, and the quality is very nice. I have it all printed at a local print shop. And the next thing that I'm offering is actually very limited, and by the time this video comes out, I'm not sure if any will be available, so I apologize. But again, links will be down in the description. Up next is this storefront display. So this thing is pretty large. It's 3D printed thanks to Abasai Photography. If you go over to Instagram, his link will be down in the description as well. Great photos of some cosplayers, check it out. But he sculpted this thing from scratch. He's printing them himself, and this works in a way so that all you have to do is snap the frame off of this thing, slide the tabs into where the brick holes would be, and then add the window that you choose. And then at any point you want to change out the design, you could just pull the frame off and then stick the new design in place. And this comes so that you can actually use it as a storefront, or I will have April's apartment window available as well, which I don't have printed currently. And here are just some of the storefronts that you can buy to go in front there. So you have the Ninja Pizza, we have the Slash for Cash Dojo, Slovatny's All Night Antiques, Video Madness Arcade, and on top of all that, this thing works as a billboard. So there will be 4 billboard designs, and it works by just taking these 2 stands and then sliding it into the bottom corners, and then you can stick it onto whatever shelf you want. And now you have a functioning billboard design. And the billboards that I will have are gonna include Tempestra, Slovatny's Antiques, a Shredder promotion, and then April's Channel 6 news. Up next is one that I absolutely love, and you've seen them on this channel before. This is Icon 3D Labs. Something I've showed off in the past, specifically in a live stream, is going to be this weapons rack, which is beautiful. Now, what happens with Icon 3D Labs is whatever that printing technique is, it doesn't have any of the printed lines. Everything has a matte finish, so if they paint it and then they seal it with some kind of matte coating, these things are great. They look really, really nice. They look high production, and they make a bunch of stuff like sofas and coffee tables. But since people were fans of the weapon rack, and since they make such great wood-looking products, they wanted to showcase this, which is a wood version of the weapons rack. Now, this thing comes same quality as we've seen in the past, great sculpt work, matte finish, and great paint. I've also previously showcased this, the Ninja Pizzeria sign, which I love, and it is a great add-on to the street scene because it just has this brick design on the back side of it, and you can plug it in wherever you want. You can plug it into the front so it looks like a street scene. That's a weird choice of words. It is a street scene. It looks like an overhanging door sign anyway. You can also put it onto the alleyway side of it. So depending on how you want your street scene to look, there's so many ways to use this. I've also previously showcased this door, which is really nice. Again, same great matte finish. It's got a great sculpt. You can see this 3D sculpt for the door handle and then the key lock, which is really nice. And then it just snaps in right where the rolling shutter is. Now, they're not designed specifically to work with my prints, but sometimes they do fit very nicely. But any kind of color, paper, or design you want to put behind that, it works perfectly well. And now we get to take an exclusive look at their new door frame, which comes in this matte black. It's beautiful. Again, great matte finish, sculpting, but check it out. It's got that like industrial style door push on it. And all of these products are fantastic, but there's one that really stands out, and I want you to check this out. This thing is beautiful. If you're a TMNT fan, then you're gonna love this one. This is Tempestra's Arcade. And what's really fun about this is it's got this like 80s vibe to it. The colors are great. It's very on brand for Tempestra herself. And you can see her collar design in this logo, which is really, really cool. So this is kind of more like, instead of her Tempestra arcade cabinet, this is almost as if she had her own arcade place. I really like this. This is like a nice little Easter egg if you want to have something look like an arcade, but you could use it with anything. And if you don't know who Tempestra is, she's from the 1987 version of the Ninja Turtles cartoon, and that's why I have her here in the Video Madness Arcade storefront design. Oh, and there's just one more thing. If you buy this black door frame from Icon 3D Labs, they actually include these Tempestra Arcade graphics. And it's a digital download, you print it out, stick it in the windows. Now you have a full arcade window set up specifically for the Tempestra design. And if you ask me, that's pretty cool. Up next is one of the most crucial items that really any street scene collector needs to enhance this thing, especially if you take photography. Take photography? If you take photos. Stupid boy. This is from Avionyx. Now, Avionyx also has his own YouTube channel, but these 3D printed lights are such a great design to really enhance the look of this thing. And as you can see, they're well crafted. They include these little LED balls that just pop right into the top of it. And I don't know what the wattage is, or outputs, or volts, or whatever you rate lights with. It's just, I should know this. I'm 40 years old. Watts. How many watts is this LED bulb? I don't know. But he did say that these will last up to 48 hours if you just left them on like a crazy person. To turn it on, you just pull the white tab, and then to turn it back off, you just stick that little white tab right back in between those batteries. So don't lose those little white tabs, and you'll be good. It comes with a single lamp post and then this triple setup. Now the three together actually go on the sides of the street scene. So you can go on the left or the right side on the bottom half and plug your lights in, and you got a great alleyway scene. And as you can see, the craftsmanship is perfect because everything lines right up, and it has those brick designs that just plug right into the street scene. And as you can see, with the lights off in this room, they still have a great output. They work really well, even with the lights on in the room. And when you put figures in there, it just enhances the mood so much for that scene. So great for photographers. I can't recommend these things enough. It really pushes this street scene to the next level. And finally, I bring you Scaled 3D. Now, Scaled 3D has a ton of items for a lot of different things. Now, we'll start with the street scene, and then I'll show you some bonus items. But right off the bat, check out this massive door. This thing is very futuristic. It still fits really well with the street scene. Obviously, you could use this wherever you want. It's not exclusive to the street scene. But all these little panels on the front of it can actually pop off, which is great because you could probably run LED strips through this thing and light it up. But even if you light it up from the back with a LED light, check that out. It'd be super cool for photography. It's going to add a very like futuristic, cool thing. You know, use it, you insert a better sentence than what I just said there. And then you get this very simple fire hydrant, which is great. You just stick it down and you did it. Congratulations, us. Up next is this door set. Now this thing is super cool. So this actually has two parts to it, and you can take the red section out and then it just locks in with that tab built in the center. But the details are really, really nice. Like the diamond plate at the bottom of it, the little handle, and then this like little viewport for your eyes to, what's the secret word? Let the guys in to the club. I don't know. And to get these things to stick to the wall, just grab a little bit of that tacky stuff and then you're good to go. It doesn't take much. From there, he's got this really nice looking, very simple sewer manhole cover with a very clever branding on it. And if you want to add a little bit more texture to the front of your street scene, or maybe you want the street scene to actually look like an alleyway, well, use all these little panels he's got. So up first, he's got this kind of high voltage panel for switches or whatever you need it to be. And then from there, you just tack it on wherever you want. He's also got this really nice number lock, which of course you could stick to the side of the building. You can stick it on the door itself. And now you just have like a little keypad for security. It's a very simple item that adds a lot of detail to the set. From there, you got this really nice looking setup that I don't know what this is. But my brain is saying that this is like an intercom system that you would use at like an apartment complex. Like you go up, you buzz, and then they let you in. Is that right? But it's another nice item to just add some texture, especially for photographers. And, you know, sometimes you make poopies in your apartment. And when you make poopies in your apartment, you turn on the vent so that stink goes out. So stink go out. Turn on vent, stink go out. And then that vent is gonna be outside. So that's what I'm gonna pretend this vent is. But it just adds a nice bit of texture to the front of your street scene that you just didn't have before. And perhaps my favorite item out of everything he's been offering so far is this beautiful wood panel that you can stick onto the front of your windows. And this just pops in. It's super simple. And then if anybody wants to paint it and add even more detail to it, great. But even if you just buy it and stick it on, it's perfect. This is great for something like Last Ronin, where you want to have those abandoned building window thingies dilapidated. I think that's a word. And if for some reason you don't like my cartoon blinds and you want to have something that looks a little bit more realistic, maybe you want to be able to put figures behind the windows and still have the blinds there, well, check this out. And I you know what? I bet this would be great for photography, to give that like look of blinds, you know, like a noir shot. But this works really well. It's very nicely crafted so that these tabs just lock in on the back side of the windows, and then that's it. And then in case you forget who you bought this from, look, clever branding. So then you can just go buy Scale 3D stuff again. But if you stick it in, you can still see through it. And if you wanted to, you can actually put a figure behind it, or get my window panels to go in behind it if you want the color. You just need to tack it down with some tacky stuff. And what is this but a beautiful window unit? That's right, this all new Whirlpool AC unit is available for 3 payments of $75.59. I lost it. Anyway, if anybody that grew up in the 80s, 90s, you really know these window units. This was basically how you survived summers. But this thing just snaps in the back. It's actually got cutouts for the tabs on the back, which is great. And it still works with the window blind. So this is a really nice combo to have an upgrade for the window. And then if you want to take my windows, you could put them in there, but you're probably going to have to like fold them down or something. But this is such a nice combination. It looks so good. And then the unit with the back panel, you'll probably want to just glue that in. And his stuff doesn't stop there. He's actually got tons and tons of things that aren't specifically designed for the street scene. But if you need like a nice cooler, you got that. If you need a nice box, that's always good to have. Great for photography, add a little bit of life. Maybe you need some propane and propane accessories. Another way to cleverly brand his stuff, an alternate cooler design. Grating for a floor design. So if you need like an industrial thing for your characters to walk on, you can just lay these things all next to each other. Really cool. You need a little box to carry all your goodies. Well, there you go. A little plastic crate. Big old barrels to, I don't know what's in here. Is this how you take Jaws out or something else? There's like little fans in it. I don't know. Whatever you want in there is in there. Imagine that. Or you need a good old-fashioned barrel to put stuff in. Maybe you got some fire in there to keep you warm. Or you can put the lid on there and have whatever you want. Another cooler! How about that? That's pretty sweet. The blue one. Is this a cooler? What is this thing? It looks like a cooler on the top. I guess it's whatever kind of storage box you want it to be. You got a little tiny box to put your paperwork into. A nice battery, so that's pretty cool. Little bottles of oil. A first aid kit. You always need a good first aid kit because you never know what's going to happen out there. And a little gas can. So that's it, folks. Those are 4 people, myself included, making incredible items. I mean, should I call myself my stuff incredible? Look, we got my stuff, plus we have 3 incredible artists that have created things for the street scene. Of course, there are tons of people out there making things, but these are the people I was able to connect with, and I really like their products, so I wanted to showcase that for you. So for any of the stuff that you liked from this video, the links are down in the description. If you don't see something from one of those creators, be sure to send them a message and see if they can get that printed for you. So be sure to support one of these great creators and enhance your street scenes today. And if you enjoyed this video, you want to see some more from this channel, then click the top link there for some more custom stuff. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.